Come on.
Thank you, Mansi, for that lovely soul-stirring performance. He's known by many names.
Okay, do allow me to start with a confession. For many of us who were in college before mobile phones, and particularly when India was touring, let's say, New Zealand or Australia, when you had to wake up in the wee hours of the morning to watch the match, and after you started opening the innings in ODIs, which I think was after perhaps 94. So you can picture this, a college, a hostel of 200 cricket-loving boys and one TV room. Just one TV room in the entire hostel. And at 4:30 in the morning, that room would be packed. By chance, if you got up, you wouldn't find space to sit in there. And statistically, at 4:35, 50% of the times the room would be empty. Only because India chose.
That you can catch online as Sachin and Celeste docu-series. Very honest, very interesting, an insider's view of what happens in Cursor, and for you guys to catch for it later. Thank you, Sachin, for being such a sport on those shoots. I think the team said you were so incredible that and you were such a native at that art, they finished much early in time and they could go catch a drink. Thank you so much. Can we have the series, please?
Firstly, Sachin, really honored to have you here. And you are an inspiration not only to budding cricketers, but also people from every walk of life who believe in their dreams. So thank you for everything that you've done for our nation. And ladies and gentlemen, Sachin! Thank you. And I would now like to invite on stage a woman with sparkling personality, the General Manager, Marketing, Tanishq, Ms. Ranjani Krishnaswamy.
Good evening, everybody. The Time magazine said that we've had champions, we've had legends, but we've not had another Sachin Tendulkar. And they said we never will. Thank you so much, Sachin, for being with us today on this momentous moment for us as we launch Celeste, our own journey of unmatched scintillation, brilliance, and fire. And who else could we wanting to be spending the evening other than you, who has been the epitome of all of this in our life. So let me start off with a few questions that our audience would love to hear. There's a very wonderful quote, and I was blown over when I heard that. You said, when people throw stones at you, turn them into milestones. I think that was so brilliantly put. So how did this dream that you keep saying, follow your dreams, if you believe in your dreams will happen, how did this journey start? What's your first memory of cricket, and who discovered the spark in you?
First of all, good evening to everyone. When I walked here, the kind of reception that I got, I thought, where are the umpires? It felt like I was standing inside Wankhede Stadium. Thank you so very much for this warm reception. What a special evening this is. You spoke about who spotted the spark in me, without any doubt. It was my brother Ajit. I remember the first time I held a cricket bat, I was 3 years old or so. My grip never changed. It continued being that way right at the bottom of the handle. Though my coach tried some stage in between to change my grip, the moment he realized this is not working, we went back to continuing to hold the normal grip, which worked for me. But in my age group, in our building, we were playing tennis ball cricket. I was batting well, reasonably well, and scoring runs. I'd like to believe that I was one of the main batters in our team. But my brother Ajit was watching me, every now and then he would kind of keep an eye on me because there were two age groups, and my age group and then senior guys who would play alongside my brother in our building itself. The dream was to join my brother's team, that age group. go and bat there and hold my ground there. Do not look out of place there. So that's how it all started. But without any doubt, if we are talking about somebody spotting that spark in me, it has to be my brother Ajit.
True, our family knows us the best. Our family is the wind beneath our wings. Well said, Sachin. Matthew Hayden said, I know God. He bats at number 5 for India. So what has been motivating you all those 24 years when you were playing for the country? What kept you going? What's the center of your motivation that keeps you out there, up there all the time?
It was my dream. I mean, in 1983, I was only 10 years old. I did not know much about cricket. I enjoyed playing the game, but as far as the intricacies of the game was concerned, I had no idea. Everyone started jumping because we won the World Cup. I also joined the party, not understanding the significance and the enormity of lifting the trophy. I looked at Kapil Dev holding the World Cup and I said, even one day I would like to do the same thing. You know, this is something I should start chasing, and that's how my journey began. Along the way, there were a number of good moments, there were not so good moments, you know, disappointments, unbelievable moments which only a sport can give you on the field. And I felt that passion in me was very much alive. I had never ever looked at the watch. When I was practicing, it was all about how satisfied I was. And if I wasn't satisfied, practice sessions went on and on, to the extent where Achareka sir literally had to drag me out of the net, say that we can barely see each other, but why are you still continuing to bat? You need to stop. You come back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. And so on and so forth. The practice sessions went on and on. I chased my dream, and I strongly believe if you are passionate about something, there are a couple of kids that I can see here, chase your dream. You know, there'll be difficult times, never lose hope. Passion is something which continues to breathe with us till the end. It never leaves us. And that is the case with me. And it took us a while to win the World Cup, but the best part was we never lost hope. And the best day was today, a few years ago in 2011 of my life.
Let's give it up for today, a few years ago.
In 2011.
2011, that's it. So on a lighter note, just to make the evening a little light and humorous, people say that when Sachin goes out to bat, people switch on the televisions and now iPads or whatever device and switch off from life. What has been your most humorous moment on the field that you still recall standing here many years after?
There were many such moments, but one moment I remember we were in Kochi, and this is something the whole team had planned. So as soon as our practice session was over, we went back to the dressing room and we asked the support staff, including our head coach, that time John Wright was our head coach. We told John, we need space in this dressing room. We only want the players to be in this dressing room. There is some serious matter that we want to discuss. So John was wondering, now what is this serious matter that the team wants to discuss, and I am not part of it. The physios, the masseurs, trainers, everyone was taken out of the room. And then we asked Saurav Ganguly, who was our captain at that time, कि दादा तुमने क्या statement दिया है team के against? You know, because there are a couple of guys with newspapers, and the front page headline was, you know, Dada has spoken rubbish the team basically. So we were monitoring Dada's face while all this was going on. There are a couple of pranksters in the team, so it was well planned, well orchestrated. And all this drama continued, and there are a couple of guys just couldn't control their laughter. And later on, Dada was like, मैं कसम खाता हूँ भगवान की मैंने कभी कुछ ऐसे बोला नहीं है team ke against and this and that, and I'm telling you, agar aise hua to you come and catch me. And we are like, we are part of one team, we are one family, and how could you go and publicly criticize us? आज डेट है 2nd of April. ये हुआ था 1st of April. So we had planned, we'll get couple of printouts and then we'll corner Dada. And Dada actually succumbed to that. Dada didn't realize that it was 1st of April on that day. But the whole team had planned. And Dada was like, मैं वापस कभी ड्रेसिंग रूम में बैठूंगा नहीं अगर मैंने कुछ बोला है ऐसे तो. In reality, he had not said anything at all. This was planned by the rest of the teammates.
Wow, you guys would have kept a poker face all through the game that was being played out. Did he come back to you after that saying something? Yeah, why did you guys do this to me? So Sachin, you've always said, I don't want the world to remember me as the best cricketer. I want the world to remember me as the best human being. People have called you God, Master Blaster. You've been at the pinnacle of glory. But one thing people have also always said that you are humble, you're grounded. How do you keep your humility and your sense of grounding together when there's so much that's exalting you to such heights and, if I could say, feeding your ego? How does one stay grounded? What's been your trick on that?
I mean, whatever I performed, there were good days and bad days. The mantra at home was, from my childhood, the mantra at home was, let the whole world talk about the last match, we think about the next match. There were no big celebrations as such, there were no big parties. If I did well, then a box of sweets was offered to God, and we just thank God for this day, this moment. And that's about it. I mean, I touched my parents' feet and moved on. There was no time to think about how well did I bat or this, that, nothing. My brother would immediately engage me in the next game, and my focus was not to just do well at school level. My focus was to play for India. So I would constantly ask him, what next? Forget about what has happened, what is next now, which tournament? If I do well there, then where do I go? Because I wanted to play for India, I did not have patience. So in that process, I was so engrossed. And I think the person that I am today is a reflection of my upbringing, my family. The credit goes to them because my father was there, my mother was there, and I could see the difficult times, the challenges that they were facing. Though at times I was too small to understand those, but as I grew up and become a parent, and that time you understand even more the sacrifices that they have made. And just because I have done well in my profession doesn't give me the right to behave the way I want. I still have to go back home and show my face to my mother, my family, my wife is there, everyone is there. And if I'm loud and arrogant, that will be totally unacceptable at home. So if I'm not so loud, humble, polite, doesn't make me weak or any lesser than anyone. If you get loud and your body language doesn't make you bigger than anyone else. So sometimes they say less is more. So that is really, really important. I learned a couple of things. When you don't have anything in life, it is important to know how to manage. And when you have everything in life, it is important to know how to behave. As long as you maintain this balance, life goes on.
That's so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. In this world which is so pretentious, I think such grounded advice is very important to young minds as well as all of us sitting in this room. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for that. Truly brilliant is usually brilliant by design, and when we hear your stories, we understand that brilliance is crafted. It's meticulously curated, and it's with wanting to do the next, like you just spoke, wanting to get better every time. What's been your journey of true brilliance? Because it is such a coincidence that Celeste is also crafted as brilliant by design. It's come after a lot of years of work and collaboration. What's been your ethos, your personal sort of journey towards brilliance, and how have you crafted it as you went along?
I think numbers, like I said earlier, it is all about hard work. There are no shortcuts. You have to spend X number of hours to be the top of the top of the, I would say, table where one desires to be, one wishes to be. And I think I've realized in life that if I take shortcuts, I'm fooling myself. Whole world can see the numbers, but eventually when I go back and I sit in the room and I look at myself in the mirror, that satisfaction element cannot be judged by any outsider. That is only judged by oneself, and that is one number no one can see. So if I don't tick that box of having given 100% every time I entered the field, because for us, it was representing the nation, a huge honor. How many guys get to do that? And that's all I wanted in life. I didn't want to be anything else in life. So if I don't do justice there, if I don't take that extra step, when number of guys, I've played alongside quite a few guys who felt that it's the end of the journey and I cannot go any further. That is where, the passion, the desire to take that extra step further and do something more where success is actually waiting to embrace you. That is important. We don't take that extra step. We take a U-turn there, thinking that it's the end of the road. It's not the end of the road. It's only a bend, but you continue your journey. And that is what I did in life. I never lost hope. I keep talking about hope because that is one thing which allows you to take that extra step. And that's all I did. I tried to keep things simple. The more you complicate, the more complicated it gets. So the idea is to keep learning new methods, but at the same time not to forget your roots, where you came from and what you've learned. Because I still remember, now there are newer methods of coaching, but whatever Achrekar sir taught me at Shivaji Park, basics did not change. Basics continue to be the same, just that naming certain levels are different today. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 coaching, it's different, but I don't think the basics change. So just to keep things simple.
I think it's beautifully said. Every obstacle is not the end, it's the bend, and you have to climb the mountain as it bends and curves you and takes you up. I think that's really the core of what Celeste is. It's so flawless, both internally, and has no blemishes on its surface that makes it really, really interesting. This is a very special moment for us, Sachin. It's a decade of your 100th centuries. It's a milestone birthday coming up. So we had to create something that was completely flawless for you, the D-flawless. So how has been your experience in this journey with Tanishq as we curated these 100 stones, each of them so unique that only 1 in 10,000 can be found in the world? What's your impression about when you see us take this journey? What are the parallels you draw to yourself?
Well, first of all, I have to say that this is a great team to work with.
We didn't plug that.
A big thank you to Tanishq for paying this tribute to me. I remember while growing up, I was always fascinated by jewelry, and as the time went by, started understanding more for obvious reasons. I have a 25-year-old daughter, so that means I've been married for longer than that. With wife and daughter combination, whether you want or you don't want, you get to know about jewelry, which is also a good thing because, this collection.
For men also, by the way.
Yes, so I was just coming to that. So this collection, with my whatever knowledge that I've gathered from them, I was able to share that with Team Tanishq. And Celeste is a collection which has really won my heart. It is obviously around my cricketing moments, my journey, and when the two combine.